We're at the sideline at Old Trafford. We've just seen Manchester United taking on Arsenal. Arsenal getting a 1-0 win. Courtesy of a bit of a goalkeeping mistake, we'd have to say. But a day when I think both teams can take something from this game. Arsenal certainly the 3 points. Yeah. Manchester United, Rob, let's just start with them. I mean, from my point of view, and I'll say, obviously I know you weren't at the Premier League Summer Series tournament because you were away on holiday. But this is a continuation of the work, and I said to you, Ruben Amorim's happy place is on the training ground. Is with these players. And you can kind of see some of the work that's been done and just a bit of a different feel about the team and the club, really, in some respects.
First off, it's such a pleasure, really, to come to the UK for our first weekend. The atmosphere here at the start. I mean, we know there's, like, on the back of summer series and the signings, that there's some enthusiasm, some excitement about the season. It was loud here, mate. And it was a fierce game, frenetic game. I thought Man United made it a fast game. I don't think Arsenal really wanted that. No. I thought United were quite direct at times to get those front players involved. And they played some really good football. We're very close. You know, David Raya made a brilliant save, a fingertip save, a little later in the game. Dorgo hit the post.
Hit the post, hit from the left-hand side.
And they stretched Arsenal a lot, Rob.
Both wing-backs got high up the pitch, Darlow overlapping and Burma, Dorgo going down that left-hand side. And it was kind of the... You know, everyone's been talking about the system and the shape, haven't they? Well, today it was none of that.
Not so much about that.
It was about people getting in good areas of the pitch and causing problems. To that point, I'd have to say, I thought Arsenal's defending was excellent. I thought Saliba and Gabriel, which we know is one of the best, probably the best centre-back partnership. Calafiori coming in on that left-hand side did a good job. He picked Calafiori
instead of Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah.
I know Lee Dixon in commentary talked about he thought it was a smart decision. I think it was. Because he's physical, Calafiori. He sprints into the midfield as well to help out. In fact, both fullbacks do when they play. But I think bringing him one side. Ben White's an experienced. Like, he's been there, done it. He's a good defender. You know, you looked across at the back four. That's kind of a big unit to...
We were fortunate, weren't we? We've just had Mikel Arteta at this desk a few minutes ago. And what he talked about, Rob, was like managing what Manchester United was today. It was like big crowd, big atmosphere, new signings, new manager, almost like a fresh start. And I think he went, I'll go with my experience, like more controlled heads to make sure I deal with it. And they did a good job of that, didn't they? They
really did. Let's talk about some of the new players on display, Robbie Earle. And let's start with Manchester United and those front players. Mateus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo.
Well, we know those guys, Rob. We know what they do. If the service is right, if the setup of the team is right, they're going to cause problems.
They are, aren't they? They did today. It wasn't their day in terms of finishing it off, but they looked bright enough and sharp enough. We kind of knew what they were going to be like, and they were pretty much.
The question mark was Mason Mount started the game, but Benjamin Sesko came on, and we got 20 minutes of Sesko, which kind of looked okay. Didn't really get.
He looks fit.
Sniff. He looks fit.
6'5".
He's 22 years of age. He's a lot to come. You almost sense when he gets in the team and starts to stretch the opposition going the other way, we'll see more of Mbeumo.
I think that front three is going to be exciting. It's whether Sesko can quickly adapt to the speed of things here in the Premier League. That's exciting for them. For Arsenal, Martin Zubimendi, first of all, in midfield.
Ace. Dropped in between the two centre-backs very often. So
very deep. He played very deep.
Very deep. So it allows Calafiori, if he wants to either go out or come infield, it allowed, on the other side, Ben White to get higher up the pitch. He's going to be a really important player for them, Rob.
I just think he is. I mean, today, he was still good today, but in other games, when it's a little bit slower, and when they're at home, he's going to be just getting tons of the ball, keeping things going, keeping things moving. The amount of times he passed, by the way, to Martin Odegaard, which is a vertical ball, that's going to be really important.
Good football IQ, everybody tells me.
Really, really good. Victor Gyökeres.
Yes.
Maybe not quite so impressive today, my friend.
No. Listen, I always said, and you can go back on the podcast, that you play centre forward for Arsenal, it's just not being at the top end of the pitch. Arsenal have such a very kind of grooved style of play. I think it takes you a while to get used to that. And I think it might take this guy a month before we see him sort of fitting in. I think Graham Lasso talked about it, where there was once or twice in the game today, it looked like he wasn't quite an Arsenal player. What say you, my friend?
Well, it's really early yet. I mean, I just think this was a really difficult game for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he was, every time the ball came up, I want to see him. I think Lee Dixon in commentary talks about he's lost nearly all the headers.
Yeah.
He's a big lad. He's big and strong. He's got to do a little better with the physicality. But it is early yet.
Yes.
And they've got options. The 5 subs came on in the second half. Kai Havertz is one of those. Very different. He comes on, starts sprinting around. They've got lovely options now. Yeah. Last thing before we move on to other things this weekend, Rob. Bayindir, the Man United goalkeeper of that era. Yeah. I know they've got the front players. I know there's talk about maybe a midfield player, Baliba from Brighton. Yeah. How urgent is the goalkeeping situation? I'm assuming that Andre Onana is going to be back real soon, but he wasn't selected today.
Although it's whether he wasn't anywhere in the squad today. Does he move on? There's talk that Donnarumma's about. To be honest, Rob, I'm at this situation, and I've said this before without repeating myself, unless you get a top-class goalkeeper in the goal, I think of Liverpool and Simon Mignolet, and Liverpool was such a good team, and every now and then, the goalkeeper let you down.
Yeah.
They go and get Alisson, end of story. Yeah. I wonder if Manchester United might have to do the same.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.